There's an article in the Pioneer Press that it was interesting the way they spun this article. This was written by Bill Salisbury. Now, Greg Wurzel went down today and filed to run against Helen Myers. But the title of this said, "Judicial Activist Making Another Run at State Supreme Court." Well, why is he a judicial activist? That's, you know, he makes no mention as to why he's a judicial activist. And it's a derogatory term, so to speak, in today. But what Greg Wurzel did was fight for free speech rights so that he could run for office and he could have endorsements by anybody. Now, in the past, it used to be, and the judges set up these rules, that you couldn't be endorsed by a political party. Otherwise, you violated the canon of ethics, the oath of ethics for the judiciary. And if you sought political endorsement, they were going to do whatever they can do to fine you or disbar you or take away your license, as they tried to do to Greg Wurzel. Well, he sued. And it went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. It lost all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and he won there 5-4. Because judges in an election and people in an election should have free speech rights. It's common sense that you would think with our Constitution that people running for office have free speech rights, but not the judiciary. That tells you another big, huge problem with our judiciary and the mindset that they have, that they're the easy elitist and they don't want people to know what's going on and they want to hide what they're doing. And Greg Wurzel said no. So why is that a judicial activist to actually fight for the Constitution? It makes no sense. To me, these other judges are the activists who are trying to destroy our Constitution so people don't know what our Constitution is, don't know what our laws are, and of course, as many judges have said over and over, I don't have to follow the law and there's nothing you can do about it, and then you got to end up appealing and appealing, but you can't do that because that costs all kinds of money in order to do that, and it's very prohibitive, and they'll just bury you alive. And so that's why it's so important to know who your district court judges are, because that's your basically only chance of any part of justice that you can get, because that district court judge can bury you and falsify the transcripts and remove evidence and then bulletproof their order that they do and make things up, and now then you can't do anything about it. That's why you got to have judiciary people that have integrity. So anyway, with this, Greg, you know, the title, judicial activist, just doesn't make any sense. Now, he does say in the article, my campaign has one purpose, is judicial accountability. Judges need to be accountable to our Constitution and to the public through free and open elections. Regrettably, too many of our judges do not believe in that concept. Whoa. Regrettably, too many of our judges do not believe in that concept of judges need to be accountable to our Constitution and to the public through free and open elections. This statement that he made here, actually, regrettably, too many of our judges do not believe in that concept, actually violates the Judicial Code of Canons, because in that code it says you cannot say disparaging things about the judiciary. It's kind of like you see in basketball and pro sports. You can't speak bad about the refs or you get fined. It's that type of thing. It's the same type of thing going on here. Actually, it's worse, because they're trying to do it to hide the corruption that's going on. And so if they go after them, I hope that goes all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And that gets changed too, because you should be able to talk about the fraud and the corruption going on in the judiciary. And we're going to show a tape of Al Quie here in a bit in this forum, and in my opinion, former Governor Quie, now Citizen Quie, did a lot to hide what's going on in our judiciary and to promote this secrecy, and so people don't know about what our courts are doing. So it's just interesting to